Hello, good morning and welcome to Sonoma Raceway in the heart of the California sunshine, where we are going to be bringing you all the coverage of the 2023 Velocity Invitational. My name's Kevin. I'm pleased to say standing alongside me once again, we have Taylor and Johnny, and we are set and ready to go. And Taylor, oh boy, we've picked a great day for it, haven't we?
Absolutely. The California sunshine, like you said, is shining on us, and these cars are ready, the tires are ready, and the drivers are ready. But more importantly, are the fans ready?
Oh, I'm sure they are. It's going to be an absolute sellout today here at Sonoma. Johnny, I think you're going to go off and get set for Group 3 first. So Group 3 sports racing cars from 50s through to the early 60s, I think. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, and this is actually where racing in California really took off, was the mid-50s. Laguna Seca, the Pebble Beach races, here at Sears Point as it was then. So yeah, it's a fitting way to start Group 3, the European invasion and the American kind of come back to that.
Fantastic. Well, the engines are roaring behind us, Johnny. I think we'll let you duck out and go and take up your commentary position. We'll say cheerio to Jonathan Green there. So let's take a look at the circuit guide, because Alexander Rossi was keen enough and kind enough to help us with a little bit of a circuit guide when he had a chat to Johnny earlier this weekend.
You know, it's always been a pretty low grip facility. So obviously with cars of this level of horsepower and cold tires and everything, it's going to be a challenge in the first couple of laps. So turn one, you know, it's that very fast uphill bumpy corner that is flat out in most circumstances, leading into kind of a very blind turn 2, which turns 3 and 3A are also blind. I love the carousel, turn 6, you know, it's a corner that just rewards commitment. Turn 7 is essentially a hairpin that sets you up for the chase all the way back down to the paddock area.
Well, it really is a special circuit, thanks to Alexander Rossi there. Johnny Green is in position. That class, Group 3, are ready to go. Taylor, should we get our sneakers on and go to start running around the paddock?
I'm ready. I'll be at Velocity Lane, ready to get these drivers, get them pumped up, ready to go on track.
All right, Johnny Green, thanks so much. Let's go join you on comms. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Yes, and as you can see, Sonoma is already lit up with cars because Group 3 has already got underway. I'm delighted to be joined by a name I've heard many a time on a timing sheet at an historic event. His name, Thor Johnson. Thor, thank you for coming first and foremost. We're straight into it. Group 3 is up and away, and it looks like Cameron Healy in his Cooper, Porsche Pooper, which is a great one to start talking about, is leading the way. But welcome. What a great event, and let's start talking about Group 3. What do you know about this group?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to know that for the period that we're talking about and the type of cars, sports racers, the group that's here representing that is absolutely fantastic. I mean, we've got pretty much one of everything. I mean, they go from things we have to understand is there's small, light, small power to large, heavy, big power. And it makes for a great race because the small, light cars are real agile through the corners, but the heavier cars are a whole lot faster in a straight line, so it's a challenge. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, sadly, the 57 gets turned around right in front of us. Sadly, William Taylor in that Monaco from 1962.
I think something broke.
Well, it's still Cameron Healy leading the way in that lovely car, like we said, mostly raced on the East Coast, some of those tracks you mentioned, like Elkhart Lake and Road America, and beautiful car.
Yes, it is. And he's a great driver. And John behind him is also a fine driver.
Yeah, that Lola Mark 1 is in second place, a 1960 version of that. John Hill at the wheel, as you mentioned. Gregory Cameron moving up to third place in that 356. Another 55 Porsche Devon Speedster. And then another Lola 1, Mark 1 from 1960. And Swig in that Monsterati Special from 1957.
Here we are then with the Ford Performance crew, where yesterday something really exciting happened. The GT Mark IV was revealed, and the man that was key to that reveal is the the lead development driver, Scott Maxwell. Scott, thanks for taking time to have a chat to us. Just talked about this car and talked about what went down yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on the Mark IV based off the Mark II, which is a sensational car, but this is just an upgrade from the Mark II. Yeah. It's lighter, more powerful, more aero, stops quicker. It does everything just that much better. So it was an exciting day for us yesterday, finally getting it, revealing it to the public, and doing a few laps to show them what the car can do.
It doesn't get any better than this. Those magnificent men in their flying machines. And quite literally, that expression was used, of course, for the World War I pilots of old. But many of those engines ended up in these beasts, because this is the ragtime racers. Eight laps to go in our Group 1. You're listening to James Alder, who sadly not out there today, and unfortunately his beautiful white Jaguar XK120 not at full fettle, but he's here to join us and take us through, because you must have raced against most of these guys, yeah?
Yes, I've raced with this group for decades. Great group. You can get, you can trust them. You can be next to them at high speed. The business about looking at each other at 200 miles per hour in Ford versus Ferrari, that's a little extreme. That's a little bit of artistic license going on. But you can be at full tilt in a tour, in a turn with these guys and feel secure. You can trust what they're going to do.
The 9C, Don Pepperdine at the wheel of that Dodge, that Curtis, as you mentioned.
Right, and so the Tatum, I think, is retaking the lead.
Yep.
It looked like to me coming out of the carousel, going into 7.
Yep. So we've got a nice little battle at the front, and it looks as though it's going to be a competitive one.
And then look at this Talbot Legault Grand Prix car. I mean, 1948, I believe, is that.
That's Gilbert Hakim in the 49 Baldwin Mercury.
Yeah, the Mercury Baldwin, really fast car. And by the way, a lot of these specials are owned by Rob Manson, and he lets these other people drive these cars.
He's a brave man.
Looks like this is going to be for the checkered flag.
Tony Garmy then, and takes the checkered flag in style in a 1953 Tatum GMC Special.